This all started as a design challenge. Can I take a scene from the most pinkest, most pretentious blockbuster in recent memory and turn it into an actual wearable shoe, essentially for free? Just like in the Barbie movie, I flattened Barbie's feet by heating them with a lighter. While they're still soft and sticky, Barbie walks through Barbie world, which, as everybody knows, is made out of sprinkles. And the sprinkles then stick to Barbie's feet and become the concept for her new shoes. Next, especially for the perverts, I traced Margot Robbie's feet and modeled them in 3D. I scaled them up to match my size and then I 3D print them. To prototype, I glued corn sticks around the enlarged Margot Robbie foot model. I tried on and discovered the key to the design. Wherever the foot moves, the form cannot hold. The next step is to model the shoe in a modeling software, and here any program will do. The design is super simple, it's just stack cylinders and then just abstract the foot model from them. Or you can just download the free model from the link in the description. The other part of the challenge is printing the wearable shoe with flexible TPU on the worst type of 3D printer, which is my favorite, Prusa Mini. Bowden printers like the Mini struggle with soft filament because it gets squished and wobbly in the long Bowden tube. But I found the Mini can handle it as long as the model has mostly vertical walls. That's actually part of why I designed the shoe this way. My Prusa Mini also has a small print bed, so I split the model in two parts to glue together later. I set 2 infill levels for the sole, 20% for durability and 5% for squish. The rest of the cylinders are hollow. Both halves will take a ridiculous 10 days to print. And yeah, I make some mistakes. On the first day the shoe wraps and detaches from the bed. I paused the print and hot glued it back in place. Why did it detach? I had painter's tape on the bed because without it removing a flexible print is a nightmare. On the second day the tape itself started peeling off and I tried to hold it down with some clips. 3 days later the first half is surprisingly done. I print the second half without tape, just a cold bed, and it works. 5 days, no problems. After removing the inner supports, I carefully cut out the outer supports, which I custom modeled in 3D beforehand. Why? Because slicer generated supports leave ugly marks when torn off. You can see it here, and that's fine for the inside, but the outside needs to look decent. Then I solvent weld the two parts with THF glue and reinforced the bond with some printed TPU dowels. And here it is, the finished shoe. I wore it for an hour and honestly it's pretty wearable. The only issue is here, it's as slippery as a child support payment, and the reason is that it's technically designed for Margot Robbie's foot. But the big question is, was it actually free? Technically yes, for the modeling I would recommend a free software like Blender, and I had some TPU filament I didn't know what to do with, otherwise you have to take into account the filament cost. If you want to try this 3D model, there's a free download link in the description.